years ago when Marcello and I actually sat down to start discussing this project over that cup of coffee that I'm sure many of you have heard the story time and time again, you know, I knew it was going to be something big.
We have really gone so far in such a short period of time that it has surpassed my expectations. It has surpassed, I think, most people's expectations. A lot of people didn't think that, you know, we were going to go anywhere.
The success that we have had over the past year of Hound Comics Inc. being in existence has been unbelievable and has far surpassed anything that Marcello and I and Sajjad could have ever imagined. I'm William Brimstone Kaczmarowski, also the CEO and president of Hound Comics Inc.
My name is Marcello Carnevale. I am the vice president and CEO of Hound Comics Incorporated.
We've had a amazing reaction from the fans, from the media. Quite literally, we've had an explosion of different products that have come out and products that are in production. And on top of that, we have had the pleasure and the honor and the privilege of having one of the most amazing creative teams and office teams that anyone could ever ask for.
I think that's something that really puts us over with a lot of people, is that they see the passion we have. They see the enthusiasm we have for our brand, for our people, for our products, for each other. And it's very attractive to a lot of people, and a lot of people love that. And we try to, you know, show people that, hey, we're not just a corporation, we're family.
I really attribute the success of Hound Comics Inc. to all the hard work, the effort that everybody's put into the company. We work as a team, we work as a unit. It's not one person does everything. I mean, you know, some of us wear more hats than others, but everybody puts in 110%. They give their blood, sweat, and tears, and it shows.
My name is Eitan Vishnevsky, aka Eitan Wish, and I'm the Director of Operations and Project Management for Hound Comics.
What can I say about Eitan? He's my right-hand man. Drives me crazy because, you know, I can never keep him in one place simply because he's always working so hard.
When I first met Eitan, I was thinking, you know, this kid's young, he's green, he's a rookie. You know, Will wanted to bring him on. I was kind of like iffy.
I first got involved with Hound while I was still doing radio over at OWWR, which is Old Westbury Web Radio. I had the opportunity to actually interview Brimstone and Marcello Carnevale on my show, Uncharted Waves, which featured all independent bands and different art forms. So this fit right up my alley, so I had to have them in with their comic book and everything. So I was very excited. They came in, and somewhere during the interview or after the interview, we started speaking about internships with Hound Comics, and I told them I'd be able to set up the program for them. So it pretty much all took off from there. We went to Mike Carbo's comic book place in the city, and I brought along with me 5 interns from SUNY Old Westbury. And from there, they really liked my work and everything I did for them, and I started to grow with them and eventually took on more and more responsibility, and here I am today.
In a very short time, Eitan has gone from being, you know, a rookie who did not know much about business and much about marketing and much about promotion to a seasoned veteran.
Honestly, I couldn't do half the things that I do without Eitan's help. When I'm overly swamped with work, he just picks up the slack and just does it. If it's anything from writing out a proposal, to making a couple of phone calls, to texting somebody, to going back and forth with Marcello that I just can't possibly do sometimes. You know, he does it. He doesn't think twice, he just does it.
Being the Director of Operations and Project Management pretty much puts my hands in every single pot that has anything to do with the company. We're talking public relations work, advertising, writing press releases, the internship program. Any business that comes through usually happens through me. I'm with Brimstone every single day.
I think Eitan has learned a lot from Will. I think he's grown incredibly, and I think he has become one of the loudest voices for our company.
Eitan embodies Hound Comics. I'm very proud of him. He's come a very long way since Marcello and I found him.
I think I know why he's so thin. I think he's so thin because the boy does so much and runs around so much. I don't think he could gain weight if he wanted to. He's always upbeat when he's around. He's always having fun, laughing, but he's always conducting business. My name is Eddie Castillo, better known as Luscious.
Luscious.
Luscious. Ah, Eddie. I love Luscious so much.
I don't even know if I could call him Eddie anymore. Luscious is Eddie Castillo. Eddie Castillo is Luscious.
He is his character. There are very few people that can go out there and pull off what he does, and he does it so well.
Luscious comes from the deepest, not the darkest, but a deep part of I think Marcello and Brimstone and my mind. It was a character that we used to play around with at parties. You know, we just used to joke around, but then Marcello kind of took a hold of the initial idea we used to do and kind of molded it more into an actual set character as opposed to just, you know, what we used to just kind of randomly do here and there.
I met him kind of similarly how Brim and Marcello started with the comic book. It was in a restaurant in a Panera actually, and here comes in this big guy, a big smile on his face, constantly cracking jokes. I mean, it was hilarious, but I didn't know if I should laugh or not. I was kind of scared.
He's larger than life. And the great thing about Luscious himself is that when you read about Luscious, the character in the comic books or in the kids' books, that is the Luscious, the Eddie Castillo that I know.
Not only can he do the character as well as he does it, but he is smarter than the average bear. People don't give him the credit that's deserved. He's actually not only the goodwill ambassador for the entire company, because let's face it, Brimstone's great, but Luscious is the man.
When you hear that people's favorite character in the book is Luscious, it's because the character Luscious is 100% based off of Eddie's character and personality. You could walk up to him in the middle of the street, give him the biggest hug in the world, you never have to meet him in the world, and it will make you feel all warm and squishy inside.
You know, there's only one thing bigger than Luscious's appetite, and that's his heart.
He is such an integral part to the company. He's a goodwill ambassador. He's the guy who comes around and makes sure that everybody's smiling and having a good time.
His boa is beyond fluffy, and it reflects his personality too. He's just love in a mountain. My name is Tom Clementi, and I'm the intern for Hound Comics.
Tommy.
Tommy is a kid with a lot of heart. He's got a lot of ambition. He's got a lot of talent.
I've actually known Tom since he was just knee-high to a grasshopper. You know, so when he had given me a shout, asking me about internships, I said it was only natural for me to say, well, we need an intern, and this is what we can offer to you.
And so we talked a bit about what my responsibilities would be, and then, lo and behold, I became the intern.
He really puts 110% into everything that he does. When he was with us every single day for the full day. Normally, our interns that are working do 20 hours a week. Tommy was doing the full 40 with us plus, and coming on the road with us, and doing sales, and learning promotions, and learning marketing. Tommy did it all.
He's like a little fun thing in the box that you carry with you.
He's quirky and eccentric in his own way, which fits right in with the status quo here at Hound.
He's got a very unique personality, one that not too many people have, which makes it unique.
I think that we're going to see big things from him in the future. He's become a face of the company, and it's fantastic.
That was pretty cool, dude.
I'm glad he liked it. I didn't want him to kick my ass.
Sajjad. I love Sajjad to death. The brother I never wanted. No, I'm just kidding. I love Sajjad to death.
One thing about Sajjad that you'll always know, he is the man that can be hysterical without cracking a smile.
We've known each other for so long now, since we first made that initial connection, and his work has gotten to be so amazing. I mean, it rivals that of anybody out there that has been a player for many years.
As an artist, Sajjad is phenomenal. He is a natural artist. he is one of those guys that, you know, never took a lesson, or maybe took 1 or 2 lessons, never studied professionally, but his inherent talent is just amazing.
I was talking to Sajjad way before I met him, and the first thing that I could say about him is his work speaks for itself.
There's something about his work that just attracts me to it right away. I see it and I say, I love it. You know, he tells a story, and the fact of the matter is, I mean, you know, what Marcello writes, he has to take and translate that, and you know, it's been amazing to just watch it blossom over the year, over the months, over the years.
If you look from issue 1, 2, 3, 4, and go through each book, you see the progression of the artwork from being really good into absolutely phenomenal.
He's the OG that's who's, you could, from issue 1 and on, you see the art develop, and he's definitely brought, and just the art alone has given the characters a lot of definition.
The consummate professional, and always, you know, always aware of the industry, and always aware of his peers and of his own influences, and very respectful to the community, and you know, just a brilliant and talented guy.
If you ever see him at a convention, you have to stop by and say what's up to him. He's a really cool guy. He may seem a little quiet, but just say hi to him and he'll talk your ear off.
Only big things. I think that he's going to get some serious recognition very, very soon.
Sajjad took a very big risk all those years ago and lending his talents to us and sticking with us and believing in us. And for that, you know, we will always be grateful to him.
Sajjad is just a cool cat, man. You know, the guy, he's so tight, with not only with his own family, but with the Hound family as well. I mean, you can feel, I mean, he's just such a warm guy. You know, the minute you start talking to him, you know right away, you know, this guy, he's a real deal. My name is Alan Vandal Chickering. I am lead inker for Hound Comics.
The Vandal, Alan Chickering.
Quintessential hype man. You know, he's always about the company. Oh, we could do this. Don't worry, it'll happen. We could do this. You tell me what you need from me, I'll do it. Alan is just awesome.
There are very few people you meet in this world that are as down to earth as Alan is. A real straight shooter. Pardon the pun, even though he's from Texas, so I'm not making any cowboy inferences there.
We started out as just the inker, and look, let's be honest, in the world of art, they call them the tracer. They say they have no talent, but you know, this guy is truly talented.
Being an inker, basically, yeah, a lot of people joke about it being called a tracer. I don't mind. I think it's kind of funny. I was at a convention today, as a matter of fact, and a couple of fans came over, and they were looking at the pencils, and they were watching me ink over the pencils, and they would look at the two compared to one another, and he said, so being an inker is like being a tracer, but in God mode. And that was pretty much the description that he gave me, and I kind of liked it.
One thing that I do really, you know, respect about Alan is the respect that he has for this business, for the comics book industry. He is such a consummate professional when he's at conventions, and he's going around and he's talking to famous artists, indie artists.
I'm also very active in promoting everything we do on Facebook, the videos. I make sure my friends and my family see them. I make sure to befriend and remember, you know, the artists and other people I meet at the comic conventions and make them my friends as well, you know, and that's something that just extends the network of Hound Comics, and it makes it interesting for many, many more people, and I think everybody should see what we're doing.
I learn a lot whenever I'm around Alan because he's a wealth of knowledge.
You could really tell that he puts everything into the company to make things work.
Another guy that very early on took a big risk.
I believe we started working together in 2006, and we did finish our first issue rather quickly, actually. After that, I believe that life kind of got in the way of a couple of our main guys here. I think some children were born, some marriages were made, and out of the blue again, a few years later, I get a phone call, and it's Brim, and he says, "Hey, we're back on track and we're ready to go." From that point on, everything just moved at an incredibly fast pace. I mean, the next thing I know, I'm getting another phone call. By the way, I need you to finish issue 2 as fast as possible because issue 1 is going to Barnes & Noble almost immediately. Things moved very, very quickly once the rubber hit the road.
He looks laid back, but he is such a warm-hearted cat. It's an honor to work with.
Hey guys, Thiago Castro from Brazil, and I'm the lead colorist of Hound Comics.
Thiago Castro.
Yo, I love Thiago. I've got to tell you, he is the workhorse of Hound Comics Inc. He is the embodiment, the heart and soul of the company. He works harder. I've got to say, he works harder than anyone else in this company at certain points.
I've never sat face to face with Thiago in a room with him. I've never shook his hand, but I feel like I've known him forever.
Personally, it's hilarious. The whole team gets along so well with him. We've never met the guy. I mean, we're talking about internet connections, doing Skype and Ubu type deals, talking to him, and he is one of the hardest workers in the company.
He's a workhorse. Thiago is a machine. You give him something to do, boom, he does it. It gets done. He gets done perfectly. He's a perfectionist, which me being a perfectionist myself, I relate to and I respect. He does this all from thousands of miles away. What can I say? The guy is incredible.
Thiago has helped me learn a lot as far as using different tools for graphic arts. He's helped me expand my skills beyond what I learned in school. He's essentially been a teacher for me.
Don't know where his head's at. If you look at his work, it's very different, it's very dark, it's very cool, it's creepy in that way. It's something that you would probably want tattooed on your body if you were into that metal, goth, or even just demon-looking stuff, because that's the style.
He and I connect in a lot of different ways, music, style, and whenever you meet somebody that, shares a common vision, it's really a great thing.
He always puts a smile on my face, even when he's having a bad day. The language barrier is there sometimes, being that he's from Brazil, but he's become a brother real quick, and once a brother, always a brother. He is the man. Absolutely love you, Thiago.
When Will and I first started this company, we had Sajad, the artist, we had me, the writer, we had Will, the businessman, we had Alan, the inker, and we just kept going through colorist after colorist after colorist, and it was like we were missing a piece of the puzzle. It was like something was missing. There was something that was preventing that final bond from forming and and when Thiago came on board is when everything happened. It's when the linchpin got thrown in. It's when everything just took off. And it was because of Thiago. And it was because of his talent, because of his patience, because of his expertise, and because of his commitment and his faith in our company and our product that we took off the way he did. So a lot of the reason that we are here today is because of Thiago.
Thiago is really funny. Unfortunately, I haven't met him in person yet, but through video chat and everything, he's like, yeah, so we're gonna work on it like this. And I don't do him justice when I do my impression of him. He's really cool and incredibly understanding, and I'm so mean to him on so many different levels. I feel really bad, but I love him because he puts up with everything I throw at him. I am Mina Sandwald, and I am an animator and illustrator for Hound Comics.
Mina Sandwald is one of the newer members of our team, and she's instantly fit in as family with us.
Mina is a bundle of explosive energy.
Mina, I see a little bit of a female luscious going on, I'll tell you that right now.
Mina is fantastic. She's quirky, she's different. She is a little firecracker.
She started off with us just kind of doing sketches for the Chicken Cookbook.
I go to a Big Apple Comic Con, which is a Wizard World, and I saw them at the table, and they're doing like interview after interview after interview after interview. So I walk up and say like, oh hey, and I met Marcello and I met Eitan, and since then I've been with the company and I love it. I love everything about it, and the books that I'm working on are a ton of fun. And
she's grown with us so much, and her artwork has progressed significantly, working with Terry, working with Sajjad, coming to the conventions and doing commissions for people.
She is taking charge of the art for the cookbook that we're doing, for the Luscious Cookbook. And she's also a big part in taking part of the Jaguar House comic that's going to be following the female characters from the Wasteland, which is really cool because it puts the female perspective on the female characters, and I think that's a really nice twist that you don't get a lot in the comic world.
Not anyone could just come in and get to do a Brimstone the Border Hounds book. She's extremely talented, and she's one hell of a gal. She's so much fun to hang out with, a very bubbly personality. She interacts with everybody at the convention.
She has quickly become, an integral part of this company.
She's got her own personality that's just, I'm Mina, and I'm always going to be Mina, no matter what you say.
Hey, I'm Jerry Cates. We're out here at Wizard World in Austin, Texas. We're having a fantastic time. It's been an awesome weekend so far. We've got Alan, we've got Brim, we've got Terry, we got Peter and Angie May, we got Dawn DeJure.
Jerry, oh man. Funny guy, great guy. Always on the ball, always, out there ready. And, he always has our backs.
My name's Jerry Cates. I'm a literary agent for Hound Comics. I work with Peter and Angie Mayhew, and I responded to a post that Brim made on the internet thanking him for promoting our book. And that is how I initially met Brim. He contacted me and gave me a welcome letter, and he called me and welcomed me to the family.
And he's always out there and ready to stand by us and take care of what needs to be done.
Assisting in getting the Hounds Kid division launched was it was easy, but it was fun. We had already the people in line for the authors to publish their books. We had Peter and Angie Mayhew, we had Terry Naughton, and we had Rich Aarons. And then we also had Crash Bats, which was put out by the Hound comic team. So we went through and we lined up all the contracts, we signed everybody on, and we launched the Kids Hound Division on October the 31st, the anniversary of Hound Comics.
Having somebody like Jerry on your team is like having the ringer. It's having that ace in the hole.
Just an awesome person. We'll be working together forever. It's gonna work out great. The guy's awesome. My name is Terry Naughton, and I'm the lead illustrator for the Hound Kids division. Through my agent, Jerry Cates, he was telling me about a really cool publishing opportunity for us, and he mentioned Brimstone, and I trust Jerry, so I said let's go with it, and it just turned out to be pretty amazing. I've been to 2 conventions now as a team member, and it's very interesting when you get to the conventions. There are people that come by, they have a lot of little kids, and you can just tell that the parents, they don't have a whole lot for their kids, the little ones, to look at them. They come by and we mentioned that, hey, have you seen our Hound Kids stuff? And they just flock to it. The kids, they just think it's awesome. They also love the fact, and the parents do, that there is a kid environment for it. It's not all the kind of adult matter that the older kids get and such. So yeah, their reaction is just awesome. They think it's just fantastic. I don't have a whole lot of experience at doing comic conventions, and didn't quite know how comfortable I was going to be doing that. But once again, being the artist type, I'm kind of used to being in my little world, and I get to do my makings, and I don't have to go out there. And I was told by my agent, Jerry, don't worry about it. Brim and the guys are going to take care of you. That couldn't have been more right on the head. They took care of that. I mean, they make sure that I'm comfortable. I feel like a celebrity within the Hound Comics. They make you feel like a celebrity. You know, just me, I draw my pictures. But they, you know, oh man, this, that. You need anything, and can we do something? I'm thinking to myself, man, these guys are just all over it. That my experience with them has been fantastic.
Terry is a very special person in my life, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with him. I could not have asked for anybody in my life that is more motivated, determined, and has the same desire that I do.
We have an amazing crew of people that work their rear ends off every single day to make us tick. You know, we've tried to create the Border Hound biographies to give a little taste of that, you know, of what we do and what every little cog in the machine, what each person does. Alan Culbreth has been a fantastic CFO, keeping all the books in order, and as we grow, it's a very difficult job.
My name is Alan Culbreth. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Hound Comics. From the beginning, when Brim approaches an individual about coming on board, that person's voice and their opinion is important to him. Any corporation that wants to be successful is only going to be successful based on the people that are working with it. You know, it's not necessarily, you don't say, I work for. If you work with, then you move the corporation in the direction that it needs to go, because everybody's force is what moves it forward. Well, with any position in a corporation, you have a responsibility to make sure that whatever position it is, that you give optimum value to that position. So most corporations are identified by their net profits. So my responsibility is to make sure that everything that we do produces an end value, and that end value, according to investors, will be profits. So that's what I see my goal as. Being in a entertainment setting is interesting and exciting, so it makes it more fun.
Our attorneys, we have Steve, Shauna, Gina Marie, have done a fantastic job keeping up with the pace that we've been, you know, building.
It's actually important for any business, believe it or not, to have decent representation, but it's especially important for a corporation of this size and of this age, given the fact that so much needs to go into the business from a legal standpoint in the beginning, to make sure that everything is set up properly, to make sure that everything is done right really from the beginning, so that the proper foundation is laid for Hound to grow as it's been doing. My name is Stephen Orsetti. I'm an attorney. I have my own law practice, and I'm corporate counsel for Hound Comics. It seemed when I had first gotten involved that, you know, not that there was nothing going on, but it was slow. And all of a sudden, it's just expanded exponentially, you know, with the number of contacts that have approached Hound and that Hound has approached and been able to make. And also, I mean, clearly from the legal work that has crossed my desk that needs to be done on behalf of Hound, including but not limited to contracts, it's grown quite a bit, and it's continuing to grow. It's a very great thing to see.
One of our hardest workers, Frank Lamberti, Nolak, our CIO. When I tell you, the guy is nonstop. He eats, breathes, and craps Hound Comics. It's amazing. Anytime we need something done, doesn't matter if he's home or not, he pops open his iPhone, which Marcello loves that iPhone.
He always gets it done, gets it out, gets it done the right way, and there's never a second thought. And any person that you have in your organization that you never have to ask anything twice, and that you never have to worry about what needs to be done with that person, is always an asset. So Frank is a tremendous asset to this company, and you know, guys like him are what keeps us going, because he keeps our presence out there on the web, on the net, and he keeps us in the now.
He pops out that iPhone and he makes it happen on his iPhone and just gets it done. You know, there's so many people that we work with, and it's just going to get better. It's just going to get bigger.
Our team has grown extraordinarily large. I think it was about 12 people when it started with me. Now we're over 30. It's unbelievable how much it's blown up. You could watch back on one of the earlier Coordinator's Corner when Hound Kids was actually just starting to be a prospect. And now Hound Kids is huge in its own right. You're talking Rich Aarons, Peter Mayhew, our own The Border Pups.
My name is Courtney Freeman. I'm the literary director and writer for Hound Kids. It's been great working for Hound so far. I see a really good future. I see it as a group of people who are looking forward to a future. They want to see the company grow. They want to see things happen and make things happen, and they do. They're continually moving forward, and they're positive, they're outgoing, they're nice people, and it just seems like a place where you could have a future if you wanted one.
You know, so you have 3 different titles already under Hound Kids itself, alongside the 3 titles with Hound Comics and Hound Publishing, starting off with the Jamie Isaacs book, In Jamie's Words. So it's just unbelievable how fast and how quickly and how much we've grown. It's really big.
Hound Comics in 1 year has, honestly, I'd have to say, has done a lot more than even some big companies have been able to do in a year. In 1 year, we've pretty much managed to put out already past 3 issues, which some companies even, struggle 1 year even just to get 1 or 2. We're past 3. We're on 4, 5, 6 already.
When I first started with Hound, there were only 2 comic books out. There were talks of the animated series and a lot of talk about what was to come.
We've got a book out. We've got a little toy line out. There's a ton of stuff going on. I mean, the fact that there's a cartoon in the works based off the comic is a lot. That's something a lot of people probably wouldn't even conceive of attempting to do within the first year for a company.
My name is Low Key, and I will be voicing the brother of the lead character, Brimstone, which is Ogrethai. Well, I look forward to supplying the voice for Ogrethai because the character itself is so in-depth. It has so many different levels to him. Being the half-brother, or being the brother of the lead character, in such contrast to being a CEO of a soul-ripping company in hell. I mean, there's so much that I can play with, and there's so much that I feel that I can explore and help bring Ogrethai to life with.
Brimstone, I was invited for a voiceover character, and sounds quite an old character, so it should be fun. And also, it's a change from normal acting to doing voiceovers. It's a completely different field, therefore you're using different things, and it should be fun. It should be fun to do.
Well, it's just, I've done, in wrestling I've done a lot of stuff, a lot of print, a lot of things, but this is my first real shot in this type of industry, and with the Border Hounds, and it's just exciting because the Border Hounds is really exciting. It's really catching on. It's just got such great potential, and it's just an exciting time to be involved with something that's new and fresh, and people are starting to get behind, and it's starting to take off. And just that excitement, those positive energy waves flowing through me, brother. It's just going to take it to another level, and bring this thing right on to 2012 and on into the future, and be a great success.
First and foremost, the reason why people come and gravitate towards our products and our books is because we're different.
I think the reason a lot of people come to Hound, honestly, even just at the conventions, just watching us, I mean, we've had people come up to us and say that we're a fun table. We're not just one or 2 people sitting there, oh, hey, check this out. No, there's a whole group of us. I mean, I've actually had someone say to us that we're like a party. When they've seen us working at the conventions or any situation, it's like a little moving party. And I think a lot of people see the fun that we're having. And then also when they realize that all this fun is actually part of a business, then they're like, ooh, I want to get involved in that.
I draw people in. Purple hair, come on. No, it's our group. It's absolutely a group.
When Hound Comics is in the house, everybody knows that Hound Comics is in the house. It's just a constant flow. There's always something going on at the Hound Comics table.
You know, Eitan Wish going around talking to people like, hey, come on in, check out what we're doing. And it's luscious with his feathers everywhere. Everywhere you go, everywhere this man is, the feathers are everywhere. So that draws people in, and people always wonder like what's going on with that. It's Will and how professional he presents himself at the table.
People like that about us. People like being able to come over to something, and I don't want to sound cocky when I say this, but to something as big as we are. And have somebody to talk to, have somebody to see, and be able to discuss whether it's the comic book or their interests about Doctor Who or Star Wars, whatever it is. We're there to have a good time, so people have a good time with us.
We're never, you know, too busy to shake a hand or sign a book. We're never too important to talk to a fan or to talk to, you know, someone that comes up to our table.
I have to say our enthusiasm is really what makes us so successful, our enthusiasm.
It's been fantastic that we've had the opportunity to go and meet with the people that are have become our fans on a regular basis. The tour has been crazy.
We love Wizard World. Wizard World has about 10 to 12 conventions a year, and they've been great for us. So we're on the Wizard Tour. We're going to New Orleans, Miami, Atlanta, New York, LA, Anaheim. There's numerous conventions. So I think we're on our 5th convention with them right now. But there's other ones that we'll go to.
I gotta tell you, you know, being on the road with the boys and well, Mina is like one of the boys. Being on the road with everybody is it's great. It's tough on the family side because, you know, I'd love to spend more time with my wife and my kids, but they know that Daddy's working and you know, working hard for their future.
When you're putting a lot of time and effort into certain companies and you're just spinning your wheels, it makes it drag out very long, and it makes it very hard on the family life. Since being with Hound Comics, a lot of that stress has been relieved. I mean, it's there's stress there, but it takes a certain toll on your family. But when you have a passion to do what you're doing, and you have a supportive wife, as I do, my wife's one of the greatest women I've ever known in my life. She supports me 100%. The hours that I spend on phones, conversations, the hours I spend in just what I'm doing to work at it, she supports it 100%, and it's a lot of hours. It can be sometimes to a 10 to a 12 to a 14-hour day. It's 2 o'clock morning phone calls to people from different parts of the world, and it can take a toll, but it's the passion again. If you have passion for what you're doing, it will supersede everything else. And if like my wife supports me, her passion is in me. So whatever I'm doing, she's passionate about.
Now that I'm going on the road again doing comic conventions, it's much later in my career. My wife is again very supportive. She's gotten to know Brim. She's gotten to know the Hound Comics crew, and she just thinks the world of them, and my family does, because they know that they're taken care of. My wife is very protective of me, as well my sons are, and they're feeling very comfortable that the Hound Comics are very good at taking care of me, making sure that everything's right, that I don't stress.
It's about the experience of being on the road together, about traveling, because when you're on the road and you're spending that much time with people, you really grow with them. You learn more about them.
It's very different to be, you know, stuck in a bed with Eitan as opposed to my wife. That's bad. So they don't use that.
There are times where we get on each other's nerves.
And, you know, what foods they like to eat.
Every time the whole group of us, we show up somewhere, we try all this food, and even if we weren't with each other, the food is just so damn good.
Food with Hound Comics on the road. I died and went to heaven.
Let me tell you, that's one of the most brilliant ideas we've ever come up with, was our foodie section on our website. We get to travel around the country. We find the hottest spots that people are talking about, and we've never been to these cities before, so we don't really know. So we put out our feelers and we kind of ask a couple people, hey, have you been to this city? What kind of would be a good place to go? And we've got some great suggestions. We've eaten at some amazing restaurants, great places. I mean, it's just, the whole experience has just been fantastic. I mean, we never go hungry, I'll tell you that right now.
You do not go hungry at a tidbit event. It's great food and just a really great time.
So, I wouldn't mind doing a tidbit by myself without the rest of the group. Not that I'm suggesting anything, but I think that would be a cool idea.
We're interacting at gas stations with random people. We're taking turns driving. It's just a constant movement.
Being stuck in a car with the rest of them. Like I said, it's a family. And road trips with family, you have good times and you have great times, and then you have times where the kids are in the back seat yelling at each other. Brimstone, he's touching me.
What kind of music they like to listen to. We're singing in the car.
I just don't want to hear Eitan sing ever again. Just really don't want to hear him sing.
There are the times that, they may argue a bit more than they probably should, and that might be the time when, they should probably just take a breath and say, let's just take a breather and we'll talk in another hour, that kind of thing.
We've really meshed together, and it's really funny. We all, we have our arguments and we have this and that goes on, but it's always incredibly lighthearted. We just pick on each other. We have a really good time.
Will's my brother from another mother. He's one of my dearest, closest friends, and when you love each other in that brotherly way, it's very hard to separate business and emotion.
It's a family, and as much as I want to tear his throat out sometimes, at the end of the day, I love him, and we always work it out. Whether it comes across as an angry phone call, we slug it out in the parking lot, or angry texts, it is what it is.
We're family, and families, for all the pain and suffering that families go through, there's a lot of joy there, and thankfully the joy outweighs the pain and suffering by a very large margin.
Everybody gets along well, and that's a core value that would be important in any environment. Yes, we kid with one another and we challenge each other, but it's like I said before, it's an environment of fun and it's not stressful, so that makes it's an important aspect of the company.
You're treated like family, and really treated like family. You're not told that you're family, and then you find out, this, that, and the other thing, and they're not going to come through with it. They care about you. They call you if your kids are sick. They want to find out how you're doing. Are you stressing, or something? And if you are stressing, take a break. It's a family. We'll get it done.
I've seen Hound, expand, and I've also seen, the fire that you guys all have continue to grow as well. So it's amazing how far it's come just in the time I've been involved, which really technically is a limited amount of time compared to some of you.
It's been outstanding. They're a fast-paced move company like me. I like to move fast, I like to work fast, I like to get things done. And working with Hound Comics, we've been accomplishing every bit of that.
I still don't feel like this is all real. I'm still at that point where I don't believe it, and Will hates me every time I say that, but it doesn't feel real. It feels like it's too good to be true, but it is true, and that's the scary thing. So I know big things are ahead for us.
Everything has moved as it should move, and it's just a big surprise to me, and it's been just very fulfilling. I mean, it's just awesome to see everything that we've done all come together, and it works like clockwork.
So far, I've given a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make everything that's happened so far happen. I'm looking for 2012 to be the next stepping stone of everything yet to come.
I want to see Hound as a Fortune 100 company in the next year. That's it.
Hound Comics is one of the bright stars rising stars in the future of entertainment, in comics, in children's literature, in animation, in mobile gaming, in video gaming. You know, we're people, every person that has met us sees the potential, sees every advertiser that we've spoken to, every business that comes and talks to us and sees us and sees what we have to offer. They all see the same thing, and that is a big, bright future.
To everyone that's been supporting us, been behind us, and been believing us, aside from thank you, the big thing that comes to mind is we ain't done. Baby, we just getting warmed up.
Thank you.